You don't feel stuck because you lack ability. You feel stuck because you've been waiting for a feeling that was never meant to lead you. Motivation is not broken. It's just unreliable. It shows up when things are easy. It disappears the moment resistance appears. And over time, you start believing that you are the problem. You tell yourself you're inconsistent. You tell yourself you need more discipline. You tell yourself you need to fix something inside you. That belief feels safe. Because if the problem is you, then someday you can solve it. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people aren't stuck because they don't want progress. They're stuck because they've been trained to move only when it feels good. Real progress doesn't announce itself with confidence. It arrives quietly, wrapped in boredom, doubt, and resistance. And that's where most people turn back. Not because they're weak, but because no one told them this part was normal. You've probably been told to find your passion, but passion usually comes after commitment, not before it. Waiting to feel inspired before acting is like waiting for warmth before lighting a fire. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. When you delay action until everything makes sense, you teach your mind that hesitation equals safety. At first, that hesitation feels responsible. You plan more, you think more, you prepare more. But slowly, preparation replaces execution. You stop seeing yourself as someone who moves and start seeing yourself as someone who gets ready. And readiness becomes a place you never leave. Strength isn't intensity. It isn't bursts of motivation. Strength is continuity. It's returning when yesterday didn't go well. It's showing up when today feels average. It's continuing when no one is watching and nothing feels rewarding. The strongest minds aren't powered by constant inspiration. They're powered by tolerance. Tolerance for discomfort. Tolerance for uncertainty. Tolerance for doing the work without immediate feedback. Confidence doesn't come first. Confidence follows evidence. And evidence only comes from action. Every time you act without feeling ready, you send your brain a powerful message. I can move without permission. That message is rare. Most people never send it. Instead, they wait. They wait to feel confident. They wait to feel prepared. They wait to feel like the right version of themselves. But that version never arrives. Because it's built through action, not before it. Failure isn't what weakens people. Stopping does. Quitting halfway teaches your mind that discomfort is dangerous. Continuing teaches it that discomfort is survivable. And survivable discomfort is where resilience is formed. Look closely and you'll notice something interesting. People who outperform others aren't always smarter. They aren't always more talented. They're just less self-monitored. They move while unsure. They speak while imperfect. They act before certainty. They don't pause their lives to optimize every step. They recover instead of recalibrating endlessly. They accept mess. That ability to continue without clarity is what most people lose without realizing it. Because modern self-improvement teaches control, not trust. It teaches you to track everything, measure everything, correct everything. Eventually, you split in two. One part of you acts, the other part judges. That judge never rests. It tracks productivity, it tracks mood, it tracks failure, and slowly you stop trusting the part of you that just exists. Self-awareness becomes self-paralysis. You don't move because you're watching yourself move. That's not growth. That's internal surveillance. Here's something few people will say out loud. Self-improvement can quietly create identity fragility. You start defining your worth by today's performance. Good day, you feel valuable. Bad day, you feel behind. That's not discipline. That's conditional self-respect. When identity is tied to performance, failure stops being feedback. It becomes a threat. And when failure feels threatening, the mind does one thing extremely well. It avoids. It avoids risks without guaranteed outcomes. It avoids decisions that can't be measured. It avoids environments where progress looks messy. This is how people become impressive on paper and hesitant in real life. The more tools you collect, the more reasons you have to delay action. I need more clarity. I need a better system. I need to fix this part of myself first. Delay feels responsible. But strength is never built in delay. Strength is built in irreversible moments. Moments where you choose before certainty, speak before confidence, act before comfort. Life doesn't wait for your inner state to be perfect. Deadlines don't wait. Conflict doesn't wait. Opportunity doesn't wait. If you train yourself to require optimal conditions, you hesitate at the exact moment decisiveness matters. That's why some people who never read self-help still outperform those who do. Not because they're better, but because they're less controlled by their own reflection. They don't obsess over alignment. They move, then adjust. They fall, then recover. Recovery builds strength. Optimization builds fragility. There's a hidden belief underneath all of this. I am fundamentally incomplete. Once that belief settles in, you start outsourcing authority. Books tell you how to think. Videos tell you how to feel. Frameworks tell you how to live. Your mind becomes efficient, but less sovereign. And sovereignty is strength. A strong mind can operate without constant guidance. A weak one panics when direction disappears. So here's the real question, and be honest with yourself. Are you improving to become stronger, or improving to avoid feeling lost? Those are not the same thing. One builds capability, the other builds dependence. Mental strength is not cleanliness, it's tolerance. Tolerance for uncertainty, tolerance for imperfection, tolerance for acting without reassurance. Most people don't want strength, they want certainty. But certainty is brittle. So instead of asking how to fix yourself, ask this. Can I trust myself under pressure? Not optimized, not perfect, not improved, just present. Because the strongest minds in history weren't obsessed with growth. They were obsessed with reality. And reality doesn't wait for readiness. So don't look for a new system today. Look for the smallest action you've been avoiding because it feels uncomfortable or unimpressive. Do it without fixing your mood first. Do it without optimizing the process. It won't feel powerful, but it will be real. And reality, repeated enough times, is what actually changes people.